Certainly saw a lot of football, but took a little bit of a break as well, and now excited to get back at it. Big weekend for the Arizona Football Ring of Honor. Vance Johnson, Ortiz Jenkins, and the family of John Button Salmon. John Button Salmon will be inducted into the Arizona Hall of Fame, Ring of Honor, I should say, which surprising to me that hasn't been done before. So, a pretty amazing deal. Hopefully we will bear down on Saturday. Excited about Rob Gronkowski being our honorary captain. That should be a great time to have him here. I think he'll be here a couple days early, be able to spend some time with our team, be able to watch a practice, hopefully talk to our guys. Should have a lot of great people, great players coming back for homecoming. So very excited for that to occur. I think that'll be great for our players. Got a big game ahead of us with USC. Need to play our absolute best in this game. They're a top 10 team in the country. They do a lot of things extremely well, and we recognize that. We know that. We need to do a great job of defending them when they're on offense. We need to do a great job of moving the ball when we're on offense and scoring touchdowns. Done a lot of great things in a lot of categories on offense this year, but need to be better when we get into that red zone. It's got to be touchdowns. It's got to be touchdowns against USC if we're going to win this game. Otherwise, we're going to have a long, hard battle ahead of us. So we're looking forward to being as good as we can in the red zone and using this bye week to get better there.
What do you ask your guys to do with their couple of days off that they get? I mean, do you want them to get completely away from football, or do you still want them, looking at film, lifting? I mean, what do you want them to do?
Yeah, so we gave them Friday and Saturday off completely from, let's call it, if you weren't on the treatment list, meaning you didn't have an injury or trying to come back from an injury, you were not required to be here at all. We asked them to enjoy their time, rest. Don't use it as all of a sudden you come back more tired. Use it as an opportunity to recharge, watch film on your own, use it as an advantage, use it as an opportunity to get a step ahead. And then also, you've got really the opportunity there to get your body right. We send them home with whatever they need from the training room to get their body right, and use that time. The rest of the year, at the end of the year, is your time to stay out late and do all that other stuff. But get ahead of school, do well in school, which they're doing a great job at, and then so you don't have any distractions the week of USC.
How was recruiting this past week?
Really good. Really, really good. Feel very good about where we're at there. Our guys had a great time watching all the kids play. Obviously, we know we can't talk about the kids per se, but we were all able to get to a lot of games. We were all able to see a lot of football, and I think it was a success, a very good. Looking forward to signing day.
What was the difference this year, last year, when you're going out talking and getting the feedback this year from teams than players when you're out, on the recruiting trail?
I would just say that guys are excited about our program as they were a year ago. This is now our second recruiting class. They get to see what the last recruiting class has been able to do. They get to see how willing we are to play freshmen. They get to see what we are trying to get done on all sides of the ball. They get to see where they would fit in now. I think a lot of guys that are on the offensive side of the ball are excited about the chance to play with the players that are on offense right now. We've got a lot of young players. The guys on the defensive side of the ball are excited about opportunity to get in there and play. They know that we're willing to do that. We showed that with Jacob Manu. We showed that with Tai's playing a lot right now. Kangaika's playing a lot right now. Prysock will be playing a lot. So they could see freshmen getting in there and playing. And it's a nice, let's say, a nice story to tell when you could tell guys you did a lot of opportunity.
You said Prysock will be playing more?
Yeah, Prysock should be playing some more this week for sure.
What do
do you want to see as the head coach from your linebacker position? How do you define what good linebacker play is?
Well, I define it as be around the ball, make plays around the ball. That's the most important part to me. Being able to set the front, communication. As the linebacker, as the Mike linebacker, you're responsible for making sure that the defense communication is on point. I'd like to see our linebackers be able to shed blocks and get in on as many tackles as possible if it gets past the defensive line, and then be very aware. You have to be an aware player as a linebacker because of the fact that your ability to recognize run and pass is the difference in the game. So you have to be able to see a play action pass. You have to be able to see a run. You have to see a drop back pass and be able to determine if you're going to be, if we're going to be a zone coverage team, you have to understand where you fit in those zones. And if we're going to be a man coverage team, you got to be responsible, one for the quarterback and one for the back.
What were some of the things that you guys worked on defensively over the course of the bye to try to improve in that area?
We made big points of emphasis on pad level. We made big points of emphasis on leverage tackling. It's a huge part of the game is being able to understand where your help is coming from. If you're a team that, if you have a forced defender outside of you, to make sure you don't have two guys outside the ball carrier, nobody inside. You got to make sure you don't lose force and have everybody inside the ball carrier, nobody outside. We worked on taking on blocks. The ability up front for the defensive lineman to handle double teams. That's a big part of what we've been seeing recently is a gap blocking scheme. A lot of counter has been run. And when you get a lot of counter, you have to be able to handle playing into the block, handling the tackle, understanding the down block, and not just blocking, not just handling the guard. And then continue to work on our coverages and being able to route recognition is a big part of it, to understand what this formation indicates, what this split indicates. So we did a lot of good on good. They went against our offense a lot. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they went against our offense. And then yesterday we did a mixture of going against USC's offense and our offense.
Do you guys track how often any defensive lineman is getting double teamed?
No, we don't necessarily have a true tracker on that or a count, I would say. What we look for more so than that is to have a better understanding of if you're a three technique or if you're lined up on the outside edge of the guard, how often are they trying to come down with that tackle? And if you're lined up on the outside edge of the tackle, how often are they coming down with the tight end? We're looking more for that than a necessary true tracker of how many times are you getting that double team.
It seems like anecdotally that Keon Barsh is getting double teamed more. I don't know if it's true or not, but is he being asked to do different things in this scheme versus the previous?
I think that, Keon has played both the shade and the three technique. And, there's times that there's a double team there, but I don't see much difference in how often he's being double teamed and how often Paris Shand is being double teamed and how often Tank is being double teamed. I think it just comes down to where you fit in. If you're playing a lot of three technique and teams are running a lot of counter, you're getting double teamed a lot. If you're playing a lot of three technique and teams are running a lot of zone, there's a good chance that you're getting singled a lot. So I think it really more so is based upon what we're getting offensively than it is necessarily a true game plan.
Early thoughts on the Trojans?
I think they're very good. I think they're a very good football team, very well coached. They're going to give us a lot of challenges on all phases. They've, the one game that they lost was, against Utah in a 1-point game. But, they got a good quarterback. They got good receivers. Their offensive line's playing well. And obviously on defense, they've done a good job. They've done a really good job, and they take the ball away and don't give it away. So that's a good formula. Right now, we're a lot better than we were at it. I think we're 44th in the country rather than 120th 20-something in the country in terms of turnover margin and giveaways, but we need to continue to be better there than we were. We need to keep protecting the football, and we need to have more games like we've had this past week against Washington where we didn't turn it over, and we got to do that more on offense and take it away more on defense.
In terms of their defense, what are you seeing in the turnover? The way they're taking the ball away, are they stripping, are they confusing quarterbacks? What are they?
No, I think that it's just a matter of they took it away a few times again. I think they took it away 4 times against Oregon State, and they took it away 2 or 3 times against Stanford. And quarterbacks just got a ball tipped up in the air for an interception. Ball got, I think there was 6 interceptions in those 2 games, maybe 7 or something like that. And then, there's a takeaway here or there on a strip sack or a strip of a ball carrier. But for the most part, I think they're coming from interceptions. And I think for the most part, they're just coming from good coverage.
What's the difference between being able to prepare for a team coming off a bye where you can start on Sunday as opposed to your normal process of cleaning up the previous game before moving on?
Yeah, so I would say we had a bonus. I would use the term bonus Sunday. They were coming off a bye as well. So you're in a situation where both teams, the last film we had was 8 days ago. So you're really able to be way ahead. You're able to watch your own film. You're able to self-scout yourself. But then on the same token, you're also able to start looking at SC, a few days ago, 5-6 days ago. So on Sunday, we were able to use it like a Tuesday. We were able to get a lift in. We were in full pads. Where a normal Sunday, if we were playing a game on a Saturday, we would be in just shorts and a helmet. In this case, we were in full pads. We were able to hit and have a good 2-hour doozy of a practice, and then give us a way to kind of pace ourselves for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're using the same, let's call it the same schedule as we use for San Diego State week.
You mentioned Price off, big playing more. During the bye week, how much of it went into analyzing personnel on the defensive side of the ball, and are there any other players that moved up?
Yeah, we looked at both sides of the ball in terms of our personnel, because as we're looking at what we have currently, we also have to have roster management for the future and how, what our numbers are going to look like and who we have coming back and all those type things. And then we looked at what gives us the best chance currently. Which players do we feel as if we need to get some game reps on to get a good feel for. But for the most part, there's a couple guys here or there, but I thought that Priceock has practiced extremely well, as has DeCario Davis. So, but I think right now, Ephesians has done a good job to be able to get himself in the rotation and be able to, play some more snaps.
Obviously, it's going to be a big week with homecoming. One of the game stories is probably storyline is probably going to be this could be USC's last trip here to Tucson with realignment. Do you pay much attention to that or anything with the realignment or talk to the team about it?
No.
How would you describe Jaden Delora's escapability? And is that something that you look for? Scouting?
I would say it's very good. Very, very good. I think his escapability. I would say, I think we're getting sacked. I think it's like 1.61 was the number, something like that. I think last year was like 2.92. So in terms of percentage, so we're looking at in terms of a game, he's not getting sacked very often. He's making plays with his feet. He's running around. He's very hard to tackle. He's very slithery back there. And I love that. I think that you need that nowadays. The best the best athletes, the big athletes, right, are on defense. So those guys are the pass rushers. And then, so you've got to deal with some great athletes that are 250, 260 pounds, 270 pounds coming at you. You've got to do a great job of being slithery and avoiding, because it's almost impossible. We throw it about 41 times a game, something like that. So the amount of times we drop back, we need a guy like Jaden to be able to make some plays with his feet. He does that. I think you see that in the NFL. I mean, you watch some of these quarterbacks that are that have great escapability. You could see those are the guys that are winning a lot of games right now, whether you're talking about Mahomes or Josh Allen or Tua does a nice job of not getting sacked very often. They're winning a bunch of games right now. I think you just start going around the league, you could see a lot of guys. Geno Smith has done a great job this year. They're sitting there at 4-3, I think. But that's a big deal. Daniel Jones, he doesn't get sacked very much. They're sitting at 6-1. So I think that's a big part of it, and it's what I think Jaden has a huge asset is his ability to run.
Last question. This is a personal week for Hunter Echols.
Yeah.
What's your message to a guy like him, and what has he meant to your defense this year?
I think Hunter's been a very good leader, very good vocal leader. My message to him is do your job. Do your job as a defensive end. Do your job as a pass rusher. Don't feel like you have to do more than that. It's not more than that. It's just really, it's your responsibility to play your best game because it's the next game. And regardless of who we're playing. Now, do I think it means something to him? Do I think it's got a little bit of special meaning? Sure, I do. There'll be a couple other games coming up that we have guys that were on another team that are now playing that team that I'm sure there's some personal, feel there. But for the most part, I just told Hunter, hey, embrace this opportunity. You got a great shot at it. You know them, right? You know who you're playing, and now it's your job to do your job really well. Okay, thank you.